I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. So before I hop into this video, I'd like to throw one thing out there. Earlier this year, a game came out called Outer Wilds, and I keep accidentally calling Outer Worlds Outer Wilds, so if I accidentally call it Outer Wilds, I'm sorry. By the way, great little indie game. Definitely should check it out if you're looking for something quick, small, and sort of experimental to play. So, Outer Worlds. It came by and it kind of took the gaming world by storm. It is a sci-fi game where you explore and interact with a sprawling system run completely by corporations. So I figured I might as well talk a little bit about it since it's definitely sci-fi. First things first, gameplay-wise, it reminds me a lot of a very specific game. Not Fallout, which is what everyone likes to compare it to. It reminds me a lot of Mass Effect. In particular, Mass Effect 2. Functionally, the game handles a lot like Mass Effect. You have your ship, it travels around, your ship's kind of this open space that you can walk around and explore and interact with, and you go to a planet and you leave the ship and you're put into this small sort of open section of planet to explore. And some of those planets have multiple places to explore and multiple landing sites. I wouldn't say it's fully open world, but it's definitely got a lot of open world elements. The inside of your hero ship, the Unreliable, is well laid out. It reminds me a lot of, once again, like the Tempest or Normandy SR-1, the Normandy from Mass Effect 1. It's very small, very compact, but you can walk around the whole ship and explore it at your leisure. You can visit crew staterooms, you can visit the engineering, you can visit the cargo bay, you can head to the bridge, you've got a captain's quarters. The ship functions the same way the Normandy functioned in Mass Effect. I think from my experience, though, my favorite part about this game has been the writing. The stories it tells, the characters it builds, they're fascinating and fun to interact with. They make you care about the characters and want to help the characters. They are what makes this game outstanding, in my opinion. As to the aesthetic, I hear a lot of people saying it's kind of like Fallout in space visually. I don't think it is. Fallout is based around this world of tomorrow, 50s future visual aesthetic, where I see Outer Worlds as being based more around late Victorian, late 1800s, very early 1900s. Very similar to what we see in Fable 3. Still, I think that aesthetic and a sci-fi setting work very well together. The worlds you visit are magnificent and unique and fun to explore. Everything looks very different, which is something that is kind of a breath of fresh air, because so many games that come out these days, everything kind of looks the same. Every world has a very different visual style to it, very different look to it, that make every location in the game feel very unique. Nothing feels cookie cutter or copy pasted about it. It feels like so much effort went into making sure every planet, every town, every settlement felt like its own unique place, and not just this is settlement number 341 of the, of all the settlements, and felt like something unique not just to the people that live there, but to the environment it exists in. My only gripe with the game is a personal preference. I have never been a fan of bubbly, bulby ship design. I prefer straight lines and angles, personally, aesthetically, and all of the ship designs in this game are very sort of bulby and rounded. It's a very unique aesthetic, and it fits very well with the world. It kind of reminds me of like a blimp, like an old Zeppelin or a dirigible. It's not my personal preference. I'd prefer something more angled and sharp. Not that that has any effect on the story or really anyone else's views on the game. It's just my personal opinion. All in all, I think gameplay-wise, story-wise, it's an incredible game. They've built a world that's really fun to explore and a universe that's fascinating, and I want to learn more about it, and I can't put the game down. I keep going back to play it. So, definitely worth checking out if you haven't played it yet. Definitely worth going in and giving it a shot. So yeah, if you enjoy the gameplay of Mass Effect, maybe a little bit of the combat of Borderlands, definitely worth checking out from a gameplay standpoint. If you really liked stories like what we saw in Fallout New Vegas, from a story aspect, this game is going to be right up your alley. Also, there's a lot of decision-making in it, and the decision-making kind of feels like the way decision-making worked in Mass Effect. Not quite so black and white with the Paragon versus Renegade stuff, but still, it feels like it has a real effect on the world and the way people in the world interact with you and feel about your character. So yeah, definitely worth checking out, especially if you have Game Pass, because then you already have access to it. So before I sign off, I want to get one thing out of the way real quick. If you can't tell, my voice is still messed up. it's probably going to be messed up for a little while. So expect next month or so of videos. You just have to deal with my voice being all messed up. Hopefully it's not too big of a problem. I love making these and I want to keep making them, so I'm just going to power through. If you like what you saw here today or just want more sci-fi discussions, head down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notified when I upload new videos. Also, don't forget to leave this video a like and go down below and tell me in the comments what you thought of Outer Worlds, what your favorite part of it was. And if you haven't played it yet, maybe steer clear of the comment section, because now it's going to be full of spoilers. I'm Colin, this has been Sci-Fi Deep Dive, and I will see you next time.